But if 294 is late, please admit those students to class.
Who did they say? Okay, try that again.
294.
294. All right, how about now?
Almost.
Okay. Just check it up on the hurricane. Huh? I hope she's doing yesterday's open. Because other than that, we don't need calculators today for those of you who got one. All right, so if we look at what you've got, if I start checking the hurricane coverage, I'll be sucked in for an hour. All right, my family lives on the coast, so I'll be checking that regularly today and tomorrow. So if we look at number one, how do we write the names for those four compounds? So if we have Na2S, okay, because you're going to do this in the Minilab shortly, I'll be grading for right and wrong answers. So even though the quiz is tomorrow, you get to work with expert consultants, so to speak, at the counter, because you're going to do three things with them. So Na2S would be what kind of compound? Binary or polyatomic ion? Binary. It only has two capitals, so what ending do you have to put on it? I. Okay. Everybody okay with that?
Oh, so we had to.
So these are mixed up.
That's what we had to do. We didn't have to write what they were. The names.
You have to write the names. You don't have to tell me binary or polyatomic ion.
Okay.
I'm just asking, excuse me, for the purposes of, do you have to add an IDE on your own, or do you find the name off the blue sheet? Okay, so Na is what?
Sodium.
So you're going to write sodium. All right, since there's two capitals, you're going to say that is what element? Sulfur. And because it's two capitals, you're going to change sulfur to sulfide. Okay? Do you need a Roman number?
No.
No. When you look up sodium, Na only has a +1. That's how many numbers on that sheet? Only one number means no Roman number. So we're not going to include a Roman number there. It's just sodium sulfide. All right? Ni2O3. Ni is what? Nickel. Again, how many capital letters do I have? 2. So when you write O's name, what's O? Oxide. You got to add an IDE ending because there are 2 capitals. Now, when you look up nickel, how many oxidation numbers does it have? It's got a +2, a +3, and a +4. That tells you you need a Roman number. Now, we don't use any of those. We look at the formula. What number right here came from the nickel? That's the number you write right there. Okay? The numbers on the sheet just tell you you need an oxidation number or a Roman number right there. Doesn't tell you what number. You have to look at the formula to find out what the number is. Okay? So what do you notice about the next 2? How many capitals do you have? 3. We're not going to add an IDE ending. We're going to get the name off the blue card. So PB is what? So you're going to write lead. And then everything else, you're looking up together for one name. You don't have to change an ending or anything. Just look for its name. What is it? ClO4 together is called what? Perchlorate. So you write perchlorate. You just find ClO4 on the blue card and write its name down. You don't have to change its name, do anything to it. You just copy it down. Okay? Now, does lead need a Roman number? Yes. When you look up lead, how many numbers are written on the sheet? Okay? So you come back to the formula and you say what number came from lead and the formula. So you put a 2 right there. So it's lead 2 perchlorate. Now, the last one has K. What is K? So you write potassium. Now, this one doesn't have parentheses, but it has how many capital letters? 3. So it's still a polyatomic ion. So everything after the K, you're looking up together for one name. So you look on the blue card and you look up CO3 for one name. So you write carbonate. Potassium carbonate. Now, does K need a Roman number? Zyra's shaking her head no. Why not, Zyra? You're right. Why not? There's only one number. It's that simple. There's only one number. Is everybody okay with that? Yeah? Okay. So when we go to write the formulas for the bottom ones, calcium is Ca. We look up its oxidation number, it's a 2. What's nitride? Is it nitrate or nitride? Okay, there's a difference. Nitrate, ATE, is NO3 with a -1. That's not what I gave you. I spelled it IDE. What's IDE mean? It's not a polyatomic ion. It means it's 2 capital letters. Ca is the first capital letter, which means I only get one more capital. It's just N. It's an N by itself. So what is nitrogen's oxidation number? Negative who? -3. Nitrogen has a -3. That's it. So 3 comes down, 2 comes down. Calcium nitride. Aluminum iodide. IDE tells you how many capital letters? 2. So aluminum has a 3. Iodide has a 1. 3 comes down. 1 comes down. Okay? Now, I told you with that hydroxide, there are two exceptions on the blue chart. Hydroxide is one exception. Anybody remember the other one? Cyanide was the other, okay? And I put that up there so you get used to seeing them. Hydroxide and cyanide are your two polyatomic ions, are the exceptions. So, lead is Pb. What's its oxidation number? Is that 4? All right, what is hydroxide? Not H. It's OH. OH, what's its oxidation number? It's a 1. Now, what was the step I told you yesterday you have to do with a polyatomic ion? Parentheses. Good, Trevor. So parentheses, 4 comes down, 1 comes down. Get rid of that and that. Am I going to leave my 1? No. Now, if you don't have parentheses there, it's wrong. Okay? It has to have the parentheses. Calcium chloride is Ca. It has a 2. Chloride is ClO2. It has a 1. Parentheses, bring your 2 down, and a 1. Those are 2 2s that I'm fairly on board with. Questions?
ClO2.
2, parentheses with a 2. Look at me. I actually have the answers to the homework. I got it? All right. I would like to see your homework today. Pull it out for me. I'm not even going to carry my sheet around. I'm so confident everybody has their homework. And the sheet. Trevor didn't finish this. He's got almost all of it. Good. 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 Do you have the sheet? Oh. Wrong notebook again. Good. You're absent. It's the back side of the one from the night before. Did you do it? Good.
How do I do this? What is the answer for this?
What is what asking for?
Number 2?
Number 2, it's asking if it's atomic or covalent. That's all. All right, so who was absent? Who else has managed to get in here? All right, I need to mark Elena's Hardy in a minute. All right, so let's put the answers up. Turn the light on or off. All right, I don't think my handwriting's too bad on this. Come on, baby. Warm up. Not quite very much, I don't think. Let's see what we got there. Pick answers. If you can't read something, tell me. But like I said, I don't think the handwriting's too bad. Do I know what lunch do you have? When did you do lunch? Did you get a party? So put me on your agenda for today. All right, can I raise it?
Yes.
All right, how are we doing on the top? We doing pretty good? Not doing good? Where are we at?
Good.
Good. All right, and here are the bottom. Thank you, dear. All right, what questions do we have? You'll start that in teach it so well we have no questions. Really? All right, who has a question? Nobody? So we're all perfectly in agreement that we all know how to do all 20 of these and everybody got them right and nobody has a question. That's strictly stellar. All right, give me 2 volunteers to head out 2 pages. I don't care who, just 2 people. I can't even get a volunteer. What's that? I got people falling over each other in the other 2 classes.
I've never understood why people like you.
I don't either, but at least they're willing to help.
I mean, I'm not shaming them, I just don't. I don't like to get up.
All right, so Elena's back. So did everybody get one of these? These are your ions you're going to work with today. So did everybody get an ion sheet? All right, Precious is back. Did everybody get an instruction sheet? Now, the only paper you're going to turn into me will be one of the construction papers at the back. These two papers that just got handed to you, no one's turning into me, okay? When you're done with them, you can throw whatever's left in the recycling bin or the trash can. I don't need them, you don't need them, okay? The only thing you're giving to me is the construction paper at the back. Everybody hear that? Got it. Now, what are you doing today? These 10 compounds right here, you see where I'm circling? Right here in the middle of the paper? This is what you're making, these 10. All right, so let's talk about the example at the bottom. So everybody has an example, and I'll leave it up here on the board so that if you need to refer to it, it's still there. All right, and I'll even be so kind as to let you come up and play if you need to toggle back and forth. All right, so the example we're going to use, I think I put magnesium chloride at the bottom. All right, so at the bottom, I think the example I used is magnesium and chlorine. So you're going to make the compound with magnesium and chlorine. So you would cut out a magnesium square and a chlorine square. And this lab is basically explaining why we crisscross. I've taught you the shortcut, but I haven't taught you why we do it. All right? Now, if you were taking this class at some other schools, and I can name at least two, that will not teach the shortcut method, which is what I teach, the crisscross method. Okay? I think it's wrong to teach how to crisscross. All right? They teach their students this way. So when you want to write a formula, compounds come together and form because elements need an oxidation number that totals 0. So when we add these two things together, does it equal 0? No. So elements combine in a way that will give you 0. So if you have one magnesium and one chlorine, elements go, okay, do I need another magnesium? Well, if I add another magnesium, that gives me +4 and a -1. That would give me an overall +3. That's not going to help me, right? But if I add another chlorine, that would give me +2 and -2, which would give me 0. Okay? So, how do you write the formula? Well, how many magnesiums did we glue down? How many chlorines do we glue down? That's the way they make their students figure out the formula. You get the same thing by saying the oxidation numbers are 2, the oxidation numbers are -1, and you crisscross by doing that. Okay? Shortcut, long way. Okay? Some teachers won't teach the shortcut. They only teach this. Now, so on your construction paper, you have to show me how to get 0. You have to glue down your ions so they total 0. That's step 1. Okay? Number 2, you have to write the formula. Now, you can either do it from what you glued down, like this, or you can do it the way I showed you in crisscross. I don't care which method you use. Okay? If you'd rather keep doing it with the crisscross method, because that's the one we've practiced for 2 days, you don't have to do it this way. Okay? But if you already glued it down and you're like, I got that, Miss Wall. 1 magnesium, 2 chlorines. I'm just going to do it that way. Knock yourselves out. And number 3, you have to write the name. So, how do we write the name? What's the first element? How many capital letters do you have?
2.
So what you got to add to the end? So chloride. All right. Do we need a Roman number for magnesium?
No.
How do you know?
You look at your sheet.
You look at your blue sheet and how many oxidation numbers does magnesium have?
One.
It only has one, so there's no Roman number. Okay? Everybody understand what we're doing?
Yeah.
Glue down the ions, C equals 0. Write the formula. Write the name. There are 10 of them, and they're worth 3 points each. Okay? 10 times 3 is 90. Assuming you get at least one question right, you get 10 points free. If you get all of them wrong, you get 0. You don't get 10 points for the name on the paper. So you got to get one question right. Now, on the back table, there are multiple colors of construction paper. Please do not spread them all over the table as you search for a color and make a mess. Or if you do, somebody needs to straighten up that mess besides this wall. There are glue sticks and scissors back there in the tub. You can work at your desk or at the counter. If you work at the counter, please do not get glue all over the counter. It is a bear to get glue off the counter. If you need to put glue on the back of your little squares, here is some white paper. Use the white paper under the little squares so you don't get glue on the lovely flat.
Will you use partners?
I told you, they can be your expert consultants. Everybody's doing their own, but if you work in a group and you're comparing answers and talking to one another, that's fine. There's a quiz tomorrow, so if all you do is copy your partner's paper, what are the odds you're going to know what you're doing on the quiz tomorrow? Not very high, okay? You have right at an hour. When the bell rings, you're done. If you're not done, I'm available during lunch. Okay? Yes, ma'am. Oh, and you will run out of ions and have to draw some. You do not have enough. Just add a little challenge. You will only put a Roman number. So like aluminum, how many oxidation numbers here? You will not use a Roman number ever on aluminum. Antimony, you have how many? You will have to use a Roman number on antimony because that's 3 different aluminum. You have to look at the formula to figure out what the number will be. You just know looking here that it will be a Roman number. Why are you moving the furniture? Guys, I'm not yelling it out. I'm yelling at all of you because you all try to do this, particularly when people come in after school. Like there's 2 back there because I'm yelling at whoever did this yesterday afternoon, but I think it's second period I need to yell at. Okay?
It took a lot out of me.
It took a lot out of you? Did you have a rough volleyball day yesterday or something? There should be 1 stool in every counter, not 2. It's not, I got up first and robbed the stool. Okay? So 1 per counter. Antimony has 3. So in terms of what the number is, you have to look at the formula. So like when you look here, lead has 2 numbers. So lead's going to need a Roman number. What number came from lead in the formula? Don't look at here. Lead here just says, I got 2 numbers, I need a Roman number. And look at the formula. What number came from lead in this formula? That's the number that goes in the Roman number. Put a 4 there because that 4 came from the lead. Yes, I did first roll.
You need precious?
I feel like it's so cramped, like I'm getting stressed.
Can we use the example?
The example is not one of your 10. You're just using it to lay out the other 10. The 10 you're using are the ones that are on the sheet about a third of the way down. So your first one is what, aluminum and bromine?
Yeah.
That's the first one you're doing.
Wait, on the, this?
Yeah, I'm working on here. What do we need? The blocks and the name. We're on the computer. I'm gonna do the blocks. Yeah. I mean, yeah, really. All right, I could have tested it. Wait, no. That's probably the you guys. Yeah. I had two patients. I was waiting in the gym to go for my sugar quiz, and they just wanted to learn what they were. So I was like, okay. And I had my back on my shoes at work. So I was late for the camera to it. They just this customer and was like, I can't stand down here. They don't know where to sit. That's like, good. I'm getting myself. She's like, let's go. I'm like, bro, dang, hold on. And as I'm walking up the hallway, they come. And she was like, I can't wait to get y'all, but they can't stand right there. You said, how do you? Sure. With the first well, especially sponge. I know, like, everybody have like skills. Bro. You look right. I was watching a video. And all I knew was I gotta go. I'll just write it. I'll put it down first. Actually, got a good day. Yeah. Well, then the other thing. Honestly, I'm still not that way. It's usually like yeah. I don't know if you Yes. That's funny.
Oh.
I've never heard of it. It was so much. Oh my God. And where's the leg? Yeah. I just put it was. And for something ripping your. I know it's like where because it says use short sentences to. It was quite a plain and depth. Articles. I didn't even understand it. Having to read it like that. I didn't understand what they were mad about. I think you're right. I'm not positive. Bless you. College is right there. I know Ireland. Yes. I know letting it. I only remember that because you said it. Yeah. Oh, layer two, so feet. What do you have? Sulfur. Sulfur's still on that. I hate how the scissors speak. Yeah, did you want one? Yeah, do it. That's hard. So wait, didn't we say if they cancel out, so it's just FES? Make sure I'm doing it right.
Make sure you keep an eye on your time, people.
Ms. Wall,
Yeah.
you said if the numbers are the same, they cancel out, so you don't put either of them.
So what now?
When you have two of the same numbers, they cancel out, so you don't write either of
Right.
them.
Wait, which numbers canceled after?
Two.
So we need 3 of these.
Whole fate, item. Oh, that means it's one of these bad boys. One of these bad boys. So So what was that? They have it. They do. And so 4 to 2. Right on the 3. Where's the your and the number?
Well, duh.
Wait, did you take ammonia?
No, there's two of them.
Yeah.
What? There isn't.
Maybe I just said it.
No, I looked at it. It was, I thought it was iron and oxygen. See, I knew one of these were wrong. Okay, so.
Wait, so if it's first, if the ions first, do I write that first? First of all,
Yes.
if an ion comes first, do I write the iron first in parentheses, or do I just like,
What are you talking about? Like ammonium?
huh?
What are we talking about?
The ammonium.
Yeah, the ammonium would be first because it's positive. You just put it in parentheses, it works the same way.
Oh, so you put it in parentheses and then you put the other element like on the.
Other side, yeah.
Parentheses, oh, you're talking about the.
She's talking about ammonium because it's a polyatomic ion. It's just first. Works the same way. Nothing's different. All right, they're 3 points each. Must have 30.
Bless you.
So.
Right.
I feel like I'm gonna have to.
We have, I just decided to write them down.
You cut them out?
No, I didn't.
Caitlin.
What she's doing that?
Okay, but you did cut them
Right. I'm not playing this ass, baby.
out. I'm not no question.
She
Go
knows
back over there where you belong.
Huh? I'm making sure I'm doing this right.
Then go back over there. You have a question about how to do it, just come ask me.
I don't have a question now how to do it. You don't trust me? Then you tell me to check out. You have to write as you don't have to write on the
What? Just like mine. That's so easy. Ammonium sulfur.
Oh, yeah, you have. Okay.
You're so cool.
Okay. So for the first one, you got ALBR3. Okay. And then you just put iron F1. 3.
What? Sulfate. Why do you keep doing that? Stop. Sulfate.
And then
Yeah, I remember.
so it is 2 O. No, 1 O.
Okay, wait.
It's okay.
You take Trevor. What did you get for the second one? On the big, like for sodium and oxygen? Okay, thank you. I'm just making sure.
You need three, but I don't like to take because that's minus one. Five, take away five.
So upset.
She's upset.
I'm upset. Disrespect. We do. That's all the time. I'll be honest. You sound like a.
FE2, please. FE2.
You sound like, what's, Truth Dad from Lunch Lines?
Oh my gosh.
You
You don't choose that. How do I know it's right? Around in a 3.
Yeah, 30, around in the 3, right?
Can we use tape?
Instead of
Right.
grade. That would be so much easier. What's the third one?
FE, S.
Both one? There's two. How many? Just two.
It has a 2 on here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, but like some FEs have three.
Yeah, that's one of them.
Yeah. It did, yes, it did. It did. Because I got one of these.
I say that, bro, man.
Hashtag teamwork makes the
Fix the tree. Why are we so
It has the last one formula, it has to be the negative option.
So FE2S.
You have to choose the negative one.
because the S has a 2 too, so they cancel out. So you don't need to do,
You don't need to write it.
you don't even have to choose something right there.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Okay, I got. Okay.
Honestly, you stay hard.
I know, that's why I was asking for tape.
This is like I took a chunk off. Maybe I did.
Do I need 3 of these? Yes. No, but,
Okay,
okay,
let me get it.
so I need 3 of these, right? Since there's 3 right there.
It's more That's what's scary. What's the K? What's the K?
Oh.
You need to write symbols and then like the
All I need is like history.
Right.
I just need 1, 2, 1, 2, 10 strips.
It's okay.
Or I could just take some glue and rub it on the paper.
Okay, well.
I think you should be rubbing it. Does she really?
Yes, I'm not hurt.
Wait, what was that one song? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I know, like, oh, that's why, like, I was about to ask you, what was that song? What was that?
We can do it. We can do it. We can do it. We can do it.
What is,
You do it, Kay.
where is it?
Hold on. Oh, stop it. CB. I'm sorry. You're so good.
We just lost his Oh. He sold it. Oh, where's CL?
Come here.
It ain't. Oh.
That's what she said. It's clear. Clear. Like,
So to say. What should I do?
NH. How does it
Which one am I doing? Okay.
Ms. Wall,
Yes.
can you send Trevor Kendall to the office, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
Welcome. I had to figure out who the last name was. I was like, I don't know who the first name was. I couldn't hear.
Aluminium.
Did you say you were leaving or just going to the office? Okay. How far are you from being done?
About 6 months.
6 months? All right. Take all the stuff that you have. Come get a paper clip and stick it off to the side by the calculator. And are you coming back today? I'll be here at lunch after school if you want to try to come finish it so it's not hanging over your head. I mean, take your blue sheet with you, okay? Because I'll give you the homework sheet, so you've got that. The other stuff you set off to the side. At some point, you gotta come finish it.
Okay, so now I need.
The third. Everybody thinks they're talking as well.
I'm going to fix my new soul technique.
Dude, there's so much paper. Your paper everywhere.
The ones that
You said,
What is that for?
I think so. Wait, which one?
Oh, wait. I got it. I'm doing all mine first.
Okay, well, like, I need to check that. You don't think they're right?
I don't think they're right.
I really don't. Because I didn't work out on paper, I did it all. Because I didn't write it anywhere.
Stick it over beside the calculator.
Okay. Now, let's start gluing. Look at this glue stick.
That's scary.
It feels like it hasn't been.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
What do you mean?
But I like it because I need 3 of these, because you have 6 and then 2 3s. 6 and 0. So I think all mine are good, because I mean, I wrote them out.
Yeah, okay, you did not.
Because you know, I'm not superior. I wrote them out.
That was so mean. You did not need to call me out.
Well, I did want to say I think mine are right because I'm smart, so I just said
Okay.
That's right. You really did us dirty having us write some of these out.
Just like this wife. Nice lady, I like her a lot. Walked in with her and socialized.
That's good. She's a nice lady.
Yeah, she is nice. I mean, Miss Wicker, she's nice.
Oh,
That's what Miss Wicker sometimes. No, maybe not her, but she's nice.
Oh wait, I didn't need to do that. I'm gonna eat. If I need it, right?
Honestly, I really hate cutting little tiny pieces of paper.
Honestly, it really didn't need to do
And
this.
it's doing it. I'm having fun.
You don't sound like you.
You didn't even drive 426.
When they go back,
Then you go eat a Steven.
No.
Yeah, but I want to say, station number 2. You guys,
That's so nice.
almost got plus
That's all I
2.
can think about.
Oh, yes, right.
Okay, special snowflake.
No?
Hold up.
Oh, yeah.
Is potassium and sulfate?
Yeah.
2Ks, SO4, so I don't know what it is. Okay,
Not the hand.
and that equals 2. That also.
Per interruption, staff and students, we will be testing the fire alarm at this time, so no one is to exit the building. We are here testing the fire alarm at this time, so again, no one will need to exit the building. Staff, please check your email for further information regarding a future fire alarm. Fire drill.
Yeah, but we haven't actually. Where does he actually?
No, the other thing is- No, you weren't there.
Oh, okay, I'll just take this. Thank you. So this would be sodium oxide?
Anyway, so, we should both.
Say what now?
Write it down. I don't, me and Marco both.
That's not
I don't know who put up the conversation.
Nitrite. Don't look at nitrate. You got the wrong line. You're very close. You're back already?
Iron sulfide?
Dang, that was quick.
They cancel my appointment, so I have to leave.
Oh, okay. Look at it this way. You won't have to make up the lab.
Aluminum and nitrate? No.
Okay, I guess we can have to, we don't have another stuff.
Okay, I was about to write.
Got me.
This is the formula. And then we write the names. So like ALBR3. ALBR3 for this.
Yeah. Okay, so would you,
I will be.
if it's,
Yeah.
if the, ion is first, what would you do to the ending of the word?
You would treat it as if it's binary.
So if I have ammonium and sulfur, the ammonium sulfide?
Yes.
Okay.
We don't even get free food there, so.
So just that one. Jesus, thank you. Can they stop, please?
Welcome to the new and updated lab. We have a fire alarm in our room, which makes it super irritating when they test it.
Is that so? That's so. I'm almost done. That's good. So I'm not. So if we do this FE3, right? Yes. I mean, not FE, but iron.
Oh, yeah.
What time is it?
Was it potassium or something?
9:38, yeah. It'll be fine. You got this.
I got it.
Huh?
So we're doing.
No, they're doing naming.
We need 3
Line items, so they
COs.
gotta cut out the lines, make people zero right there. in the line.
We need 3 COs.
You had to do it.
Yeah, I bet. I struggled because chemistry was not the easiest class I ever had.
You did well.
I did, and I was so your class was strong, class gave me a lot of confidence because I never was strong in science. You know, I actually passed away. She invited me to take AP biology. You, but it made me feel very sailor when I was fucking good enough. White girl.
Yeah, all of them. She has like 1 hand break.
Yeah.
So I always had to break one. Still, that's one.
It doesn't even exist. Left, right, center, southwest.
I need, oh wait, luckily I have to.
What number will they let it run to?
What is ammonia?
No, like.
Yeah, you got 2 men.
That's like that. Ammonium. That is H42S. We only need one S for this, right?
Yeah.
Also, do we put the Covalent here first?
Yeah.
Okay. So like, we were also writing it. Wait. Oh, no.
Yeah.
So we need 3 oxygens. Is that how this works? Like if there's a number.
What?
Like if there's like, just there's, so we need 3 oxygen things. Okay, so.
Xavier, you coming back this afternoon? Well, I have courtyard duty. I got you.
So what I'll need your license number, your insurance, your name on the insurance.
Right, they'd be like, if somebody in here that you know, they'll tell them. Be like, I'm not even gonna do it like that.
Man, they make me out to do bad work.
Of course I would have.
Yeah, like, we changing their cars.
I hope that is because some people that
Wait, which one?
some people cannot.
Get my car.
No, before I don't have any out.
What's your favorite?
That's why I don't drive this one, because I drive 20 years old, so I get that down.
She's so good, she's so cute. Yeah, I think she's love you next morning. I can begin to school. You said no. You don't
Yeah, it ain't that far.
Right, we just gonna be asking you, wow, you took your job. You went upside down.
Oh, yeah. It's nice.
I mean, people be driving the parking lot like they don't have any sense.
Good.
I don't know why they just want.
No, she's
Is it
scared.
a party bag?
We didn't even use magnesium, did we? We didn't even use magnesium. You got 2 magnesium on here. You know, you could have put things we actually had on here.
What happens when I make stuff, I'm watching TV?
You really did.
She was at the stop signs. She started asking.
Oh my God.
Wait till you have to make another.
I didn't need to make 2 outfits. I had to.
It's okay, it's okay, it's fine.
I'm okay.
Why do I sit like that?
Okay. Okay. Huh? What time is it?
How much you know you got?
You said that was right.
I was like, bro, how do you get cold? I'd be scared. You know,
Sodium only has one number. Oh my God.
What is salt? Salt. Do you not have enough of these?
Well, she said
Probably 5.
yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm just using the back of the one that's not getting.
I used to just drop by my neighborhood.
So we only need 1 kilo.
Yeah.
I forward the last one.
Oh, wait, no, I got it from. I was made.
Keep an eye on your time, people, so you know when you've got to be done. Because I will not give you time in class tomorrow. What you don't finish will be graded or you have to do at lunch.
See, is it alright? I thought I didn't have any more irons. But I used
The name on the thing.
No more names.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's all.
Are you really?
Yeah. Right. Like it's done with my
I mean, you can miss one day.